Hey y'all, welcome to the Iceberg video. Here's the first one. I'm gonna be doing these every day, hopefully, if I can, before the draft. Today we're knocking it down 2 layers. These layers being the top of the iceberg. You know how iceberg videos work. If you don't, it basically is the higher up on the iceberg, the more common knowledge it is, and the way down, the more it gets darker and deeper and conspiracy theories. All right. So here we go. Number one, we got Crispy. Crispy is the dev of the game. He and Orange both made the game together, and he was actually originally a map maker for HEBB. Went to RBU because he wanted to do his own thing. Uh, and yeah, you can find him in leagues if he back in the day he used to play a bunch of leagues with us. Um, and he was a really good guy to be around. He was actually really funny. Shout out Crispy if you're watching this. I don't think you are. I don't think you ever will. But if you do, thank you. I appreciate you. But yeah, Crispy's one of the. He was actually really good too. He also just died in the strike zone. Fun fact right there. But yeah, no, Crispy. I think he's been on the Tigers this whole OBO career, VBO career, if you want to call it. But yeah, now he's working. He's really working hard on this new game, and I hope everyone cheers him on. All right, now we got the second one. We have All Star Break kills. Now, the thing with All Star Break is that every single league, I swear, every single league or season, usually, the All Star Break will kill the league. And now, I don't think it's just some conspiracy theory. I think it's a true deal. Like, it's a real problem in, RBU with these leagues. No one likes the All Star game. Now, I personally really like the All Star game. I think it's a smart idea. I think it's a way to, highlight those people that are really good at the game and put in the work in. But at the same time, it kills the league because there's a whole week of no playing. And, I feel like as RBU grows, hopefully we have a future for RBU. I really do, because RBU is super fun and it's a really good community. I love the community, but we need to do something about this All Star breaks because I swear, most of my leagues I've ever played on, the whole season will go right until you get the All Star break, and then that 1 week just kills the league. People will find new games. They'll play HCBB. They'll say, hey, you know what? I think it's time for me to stop playing this. It's getting boring for me, and it just kills the league because there's no momentum. The momentum stops. You're having this full season. You're playing all these games, and it just stops for a week, right? So there's one of those little incidents about the All Star break. Well, now we're talking about All Star break. I did mention HCBB. HCBB is one of the, you know, most competitive, let's say, baseball leagues in Roblox, and it's no surprise that league this game's been out since I think, before, I think it was beta was born, or a year after too. But it is there's so many people. There's like kids. There's like adults, like parents, like dads. There's dads and moms out there playing this game, playing HCBB leagues. It's crazy. There's so many such. God, and the most HCBB players are really egotistical. I have to say they're kind of little. They think they're better. They're all high and mighty. But you know, HCBB is one of the competitors for RBU, and right now it's kind of showing that HCBB is going to be the best baseball game for Roblox for a while, unless something happens to RBU. All right, now we're gonna go to Carson. Carson is probably one of the most sought after rookies back in the OG OBL days. Um, many people know him for his walk up song, his lucky walk up songs, which people even copied. He's also known for his home run. His pitching is not really good though, but his home run skills are pretty well. He's part of the season 2 Spartans, and the whole team was just stacked from that point on, which we'll get to in a little bit, or well, in the next couple of days or two. All right, now we're going to Lucas. Now Lucas is one of the players that if you know about, Santa Maria, he's that guy. I think that's all you need to know. Next, we have Bugs. Bugs is one of the biggest issues why RBU has been kind of slowing down and it's kind of dying. It's because no one wants to play a game with so much bugs that like you can't. There's times where you can't hit because you can't get in the box. There's times where pitching can't work. There's Type A Thunder that just like, dude, they're King Vaughn of RBU and they just don't want you to play that game. Moving on, we got BDF. BDF is one of the most, I'll say, top three most known squeakers of RBU. Um, BDF is also one of the best squeakers of RBU. And it comes to say that with great power comes great responsibility. Because BDF has such a massive ego. If he talks to him in VC, his first three words, I'm not going to say them because I can't say them because it's, but it's a straight up, and then we'll just leave it there. Right? Now, BDF, he can be chill sometimes. But most of the time, he is trying to rage bait you. He's trying to get you on your nerves. And yeah, so there's BDF. You also talk to him. If you talk to him right now, he'll probably help you out. Now we got a 1v1. Now 1v1 was the original mode of RBU, and which actually made a lot of people play it because it was the 1v1 factor. Now, before HCBB had 1v1s, RBU had 1v1s. And that's what made RBU so great. That's what made RBU have more player count, more people playing it than HCBB. If you go back, I'll probably show a picture right now, but if you go back to the original time where RBU got released and HCBB was playing, and put in the same little comp, they had the same amount of player count. If anything, RBU had a little bit more. That's how much RBU had going for it when it first came out. Now you see it's 60 players and all that, but dude, RBU had a chance to be one of the best Roblox baseball games it had. It could have been, but due to developing issues and all that, it just couldn't. And once 9v9 came out, the bugs showed, and 1v1 is no longer able to play. And ultimately was stolen by HCBB to be a new mode. Moving on, we got Camden. Camden is one of those players that, they're troublemakers. They own leagues to kill people. They hate, they guess to kill people. He has a very massive ego, and if he doesn't get his way, he'll cry about it. He will cry about it. He's also really fat. Here's a picture of him, by the way. But he's really fat, and he's a goofball. He's a good pitcher, though. I do admit he's a good pitcher, but he has had some issues with the doxing, and other stuff like that, and ultimately got him, banned from OBO for a time. Made a whole bunch. People made so much memes about him. It's funny, being with Adolf Hitler and stuff, and yeah. Next is Jake. Now I was looking deciding on if I should put Jake in the top square or second square, but if I'm talking about current times, Jake's kind of fallen off on the most known people. Jake is known for his Santa Maria call, which I'll show you in now.
I'm predicting 2 balls in a row.
That's another ball. 2-1 count.
He's gonna make it 3-1, and then we'll see where it goes from there, probably.
Lucas with a swing and a drive, and then it's gone. Santa Maria.
Oh my god, Lucas.
So, Jake. What about Jake? Well, Jake is probably the most funniest people you could probably find on RBU. He's super good. He has super good media skills. Back in Jake's prime with media, dude, it was so peak. You just never know he's gonna post. He made this AI videos, made edits, made all these things. He's really good at it too. I think he's most known for his media skills. He's really good at broadcasting. He gets really excited. He always screams when he hits a home run. And I think if you just know Jake, you know Jake, and you don't really need an explanation about him. Now we have Casey Austin Lord. Now Casey Austin Lord, there's some crazy stuff. There's a lot of, although I could probably make a whole episode about Casey Austin. So I'm just gonna give you the basics. Casey Austin's been part of RBU's history since February. He's probably one of the most OG members you could probably find. He lives in a camper van with his crazy parents. Pretty redneck, but it's not really redneck. It's weird. He's like redneck, but he's like liberal redneck. It's weird. But anyways, continuing on. He's pretty good. He had an MVP season of season 1 OBL, which in reality, people may think that was biased and rigged. And that was crazy because people didn't think he was that good. And he was really good, but he's fallen off a bit. Pitching's gotten better. Meta's changed and all that. So Well, I'll make more video episodes about Casey Austin in the future. Next we got VBO. VBO was OBL originally, before Boone and his big mouth and money and 200,000 Robux grand prize. Speech came in. Before all that though, he was a player. He was, I think it was just a player. His name is Espionage Rower. But the big thing about him was that he had a dream, and his dream was to make OBL the best thing ever, because his league originally, Boone's original league, which I think I have a whole thing about Boone on here somewhere, so I can find it. Do I have Boone? Okay, I have Boone. Okay, so I'll talk about Boone in the future more. But anyways, he gives a presentation to us and says, "Hey, here is what I can do to make OBO the best thing ever made." And from that point on, things changed, and that's how BBL turned out. Tice fleecing, I don't think this needs much explanation. He just fleeces a lot of people, and he's the goat at it. Next, we got RDO. RDO is one of the probably the best side league out of all three to ever exist. That being OG Ruble, PUBL, which we'll get into in tomorrow's episode on the Iceberg. But it was owned by Snow. It's because Snow was, banned something happened to Snow and OBL's managing team. Snow decided to make his own league, and he made RDO. And most known thing about RDO is his diamond system. The diamond system basically said, hey, if you do this stuff, you get diamond points. And there's diamond points, you get upgraded ranks, and that's how it worked. That was the only special thing about RDO. Everything else is basically how every other league is. You can always find stuff about, the leagues if you want. But ultimately, it was bought, or I got it from him. And, we'll find out about what happened with that in the future. All right, we're going to talk about the N-word next. The N-word, basically, if you say the N-word, you're banned. That's how OG OBO was. Say the N-word, you're gone, buddy. You're banned or muted. I forgot which one it was, but it was some notorious thing. You couldn't say it. And you still can't say it, but now you can say it if you want to. Not rules. Next, we got OBO Season 1 Spartans. Now, I don't know much about this team. If people can fill me in, send me clips on that, I'd really be greatly appreciated. I might make my own episode about it. But OBO 1 Spartans, Season 1 Spartans, probably the most worst ever team to ever play RBU in the league environment. Many people, if you ever make a bad play, they'll say, oop, that's the Spartans move, Season 1 Spartans move. And, I think they actually won, one game, or, when they had no wins. Something crazy like that. And it's crazy to know about that. But, with that being said, that is the end of this Iceberg video. Before I say this, or this part of the Iceberg, before I say this, I maybe went really in deep and all this stuff before, and I didn't check my my recording software, and immediately got cooked because, let's just say I wasn't recording, and so I spent a good 30 minutes making one part for two little sections of it, and it came to bite me in the butt. So here we are. That's why it's a little bit shorter, and I'll probably make more videos specifically on these things. But no, I appreciate y'all for watching this one. If y'all suggest any more things I should do or talk about, don't mind DMing me. And I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye.